guys, this is Roy here from rwilco12 and epicdroid.com, bringing to you today the review video on the Elephone Explorer Pro action camera. I got this about 2 weeks ago. I've been playing with it ever since the day I opened it. Have absolutely loved the device. There are a few downsides to it, not necessarily with the device, but more so with the documentation that comes with the device. The device itself is a very sturdy device. It has taken quite a beating here with me. I tried hooking it up to my cheap knockoff drone quadcopter setup that I've got. Unfortunately, this was a little bit heavier than the drone could handle, and it crash landed quite a few times without the protective case on it. I just did it with this on it. It was too big for the quadcopter to handle with. When I was using it just with itself, I mean, even then it was very sturdy. It had no issues. I have tried it underwater in the bathtub. I didn't go swimming or anything with it. I haven't had a chance to do that, but I did try it in the bathtub. The waterproof case had no leakage whatsoever. The camera worked very well underwater. No issues there. Have taken it out again on my drone. Have also taken it out driving, and have taken it out in various situations just to test the durability of the camera, to test the video quality of it as well as the audio quality. Have been very impressed overall with that. So let's go ahead and jump on in. I'll show you what we've got here a little bit closer, show you a couple of video clips of what I've recorded here with the action camera, and go from there. So with the review, the first thing I want to cover is the contents of the box. We already showed off what comes in the box with the unboxing, so I'm not going to give it too much fanfare there, but what we're going to do here is just show you what the individual pieces do and give you a review as far as those individual items. We'll come back to the directions here in a little bit. We've already touched on that just a little bit earlier as part of the introduction, but that's something I do want to highlight separately here. So first off, we have the protective case. The protective case, as I did state earlier, is a very durable case. It is waterproof and it is very, very tight. The case is a little bit difficult to open. That is by design, or I believe it is by design. To open it, there is a little clip here that you pull down, and then you put a finger under this piece of the clip here and you pull that up. It flips the lever over, it opens that up, you just pull this piece down, and then you have it here. So this here has a rubber ring around the whole edge of the ring. There is also I can't tell if it's foam or if it's rubber, but there is this little piece here that holds the camera steady when you're holding it, or I'm sorry, wrong direction. Holds it steady for when you're using the waterproof case, so that it won't bounce around and it doesn't have a lot of sound from clanking up and down in the enclosure. So the case again is very sturdy. The buttons here, they do work really well. The connectors on those go right in. The connectors, I can't get a good shot of it, but they are also waterproof. And we'll have a clip from the bathtub showing you what it looks like underwater. And then here we had the accessories. So the accessories, I never actually used the USB cable. As I said in the unboxing, I've got about 8 million of them, so I didn't need to use it. But here we have all the different adapters. As I said in the unboxing, these adapters, these mounts, I had no idea what they were all for. I had no idea that you would even need this many mounts. But as I played around with it a bit, and as I got to use some of these, I did realize that there are a lot of situations where these would come in handy. So we'll show you what some of them do. These two clamps here are your base clamps. These are what the piece would slide into, and it's what would hold, where did I put that? The camera when it's in use, when it is in the enclosure. So the enclosure here has a 2-piece clip, and that 2-piece clip would fit into a 3-piece clip. So this is the 3-piece clip that it came with. So we're going to go ahead and show you how this works. So what I mean by a 3-piece clip is there are 1, 2, 3 pieces of plastic, and those would slide into here. And then you can use this little piece here to screw it on, and depending on how tight you do it, it gives it some rotation, or it will hold it pretty firm in place. And so this piece then goes in a variety of pieces. The base clip here, this can either be mounted to a tripod. This one is a tripod mount. It also comes with the 3M sticky tape, and so you would just slide that in here and it clips on and it holds it nice and steady. And so that there would then mount to your dash. You would use your sticky tape to put it down, and it holds it in place so that you can use that while you're driving. I mean, you could use it on your dash, you could use it on a wall, or whatever you may be, as long as it's a flat surface. So you just stick that on that flat surface to pop it out. There are 2 clips here. Pinch those together, and then slide it on out. Now it is a tight fit, so whenever you're using these, it will be a tight fit. That is by design. You don't want this flopping around and falling off when you're using it on a bike or when you're driving or whatnot. So you do want to have that nice steady in your thing. So none of these are loose clips. So here we have another clip. This one works the same way as the clip here. You put it in there and you would screw this in, and then you can mount that to whatever you have as far as a pole or handlebars or whatever it may be. So then here we have another clip, and this clip is a two-piece clip. So here you have this one that you can mount to a tripod, and with this one you have the ability to slide the camera in, and it is a tight fit, and it has a clip here on the bottom that will hold it in place so that you don't have that falling out. And I just started recording something, but it holds it in there so that you're not going to be dropping that. And so this is what I used on my tripod. This screws right into the tripod, you put it down, and you're good to go. But if you don't want to use it on a tripod, so you get that on there, and then you can do the same thing. You put the camera in, and this allows you to clip it onto a surface, so you can clip it onto the side of something, and then you could use that to do your filming from there. Now, all these other adapters, they are several different kinds. This one allows you to put it on a swivel so that you can spin it around and you can use it in different angles or different degrees. This one, it allows you to change the direction of the mount. So the default mount, wherever it went, here we go, goes in one direction. And so that's what you're stuck with there, unless you use a mount like this one. Some of these, again, are tighter than others. But instead of being in this direction, you can now do it in this one. And it also gives you a little bit more swivel, so you can do that there. And then you have the same thing. This is a taller one that does the same thing as this one does. And then here's another one that allows you to do it in the same direction, but allows you to get a additional movement there. This is the same thing as the clip that I was looking at earlier. Holy cow, there's so many of these I can't keep track of them. But this one also will, oh, here it is. So this one is the one that it came with, the one we showed first. This one has the same features, except for it's a taller mount, and it allows it to come out at a little bit of an angle, so it's not as far back. So those are all the different mounts. As you can see, there's a lot that you can do with these mounts. They're all very sturdy. They are mostly made of a hard plastic. They have the metal bolts and the nuts on them. There are dozens of different applications for these, and dozens is probably cutting it short. So this is a huge thumbs up for these here. I had no idea when I was first getting into it what they were going to do and how they were going to work, but these are a big selling point. So here we have the instructions, and as I said earlier, the instructions are probably the one area that I felt this was the most lacking. In here you have first off the notices that tell you how to use the camera, tell you the types of conditions to use it under, or what not to use it under. Then here it has the operational interface, tells you about it, tells you what size the screen is, tells you where the lens is, the power modes, all your different buttons, what they all do. Then here you have a picture of all the accessories, and this is kind of where my complaints started about the directions. They have a list of all the accessories, but they don't tell you what to do with them. Then here you have a introduction to the buttons. It tells you how to turn it on, tells you how to zoom in, how to zoom out, tells you how to start the recordings, how to stop the recordings. Here it tells you how to charge, it tells you how to tell when the charging is done. You have the memory card, how to put the memory card in and out, how to turn the camera off and on, and how to do some of the features of the recordings. This tells you how to do a video recording with a loop record. So then it tells you about the normal record, a time-lapse record. It tells you how to use the motion detection. That was a cool feature. When you put it up on a tripod, you can then turn around and walk in front of it to trigger it, or you can wave your hand and those kinds of things. It goes through capture mode and tells you how to get to capture mode, tells you how to take pictures, tells you how to use capture mode for video, it tells you how to do burst mode for pictures, and then it tells you how to zoom in and out on the video recording and photo taking. And then it also tells you how to play videos and delete and protect them. And then in settings, it goes through some of the settings, but this was another area where it was kind of lacking. It doesn't cover all of the settings or tell you how to use them. I don't there were a lot of different things there as far as the Wi-Fi goes. Tells you how to turn it on, how to use it. Wi-Fi worked really well. I was able to connect to it with my computer and download files and transfer files and things. So that was a cool feature there. How to view them on the computer. Tells you how to open the camera. And then it goes through some of the specs. But when you got right down to it, there were some menu items that it didn't cover fully. And there were some menu items that I wish it had gone through in more description. So let's look at the camera here and see what we've got with that now. So the camera itself, again, as we said last time, it does show all the buttons. You have here a power button. You hold it down for 3 seconds and it will turn it on. And it starts up very quickly. That was an awesome feature of it. Some cameras, camcorders, cell phones, they take a little bit longer to start up, but this one was almost instantaneously. The part that took the longest was holding it down for 3 seconds. I don't even think you have to hold it down for a full 3 seconds. I think I've gotten it down to 2 seconds. Just hold it down and it turns on. So here you have your menu control buttons, then you have your power, you have the OK, this is your shutter button to take the picture or also to control the menu. Here you have your ports, you have your HDMI out, you have your micro USB for charging and for data transfers, and your SD card. And then here on the bottom we have the battery door that we are not going to open because during our unboxing video we made the mistake of opening it and then we couldn't get it closed again. So the device itself, to control it, you use the power button for almost everything as far as the menu goes. So if you wanted to start taking a video, you push the OK button, it tells you video start, push it again, video stop. And then to change it to picture taking mode, you hit it once, and that will take a picture, but you can take pictures. And the pictures are very high quality. They take in the same quality as the video does, and so they are very high quality, very good images there. So there we have the video, and for video playback. So that's a video I took of the inside of my car on accident when I was trying to mount it to my dash. I think that's what that one was. Not sure, but whatever that was, I think that's what it is. So then to navigate the files in the playback menu, you can use your arrows here on the side. Walks it through everything. There's a picture of the inside of my hand. And all of these are done in 1080p. So it's, again, it's high quality. And yeah, so those are some of the cool features that it has. I'm not going to go into what you can do with all the menus. I will show you quickly what it has, but you have something where you can change the resolution, the loop recording we touched on earlier. This RSC, it doesn't touch on that a lot in the menu, but from what I gathered, actually, I'm mixing that up something else. I'm sorry. I have no idea what RSC was. WDR, no idea what that was. It was another thing I didn't cover very well. Time-lapse record, motion detection, record audio if you just want to record audio by itself. Date stamp, you can turn that off and on. FOV gives you the field of view, so you can limit what is being seen with that fisheye lens. So you have diving mode. So that's for use underwater. You have night scene. Night scene was kind of cool. I was able to use that outside. The video quality was still a little bit hard just because of the fact that it was night mode. There wasn't a lot of lighting, but it did get a little bit better when I used the night scene. Then you have capture mode here. So you have the timers. You can set a timer on that, how long you want it to wait between pictures. You have the image size. So you can set the image size independently of the video quality. And burst pictures, the quality. So fine, normal, or economy. Normal is what I used and I got super awesome quality there. Sharpness, you can set the sharpness and again the pixelation of the image. You can change your white balance, the color, the ISO, the exposure, anti-shaking, and you can delete pictures, you can protect pictures, and then you can use the Wi-Fi to transfer them. Set up your different Wi-Fi things, SSID, the password, set the date and time, auto power off so you can set a timer on it if you don't want it to go. Beep sound. Car ACC, this again I have no idea what it was. It's an off and on menu item. That's one of the things I wish they had covered better in the manual. Language, TV mode, so if you're in overseas you can set it for NTSC or PAL. And then you have the same thing with the TV. So you can project it to your TV, I'm sorry. Then you have screen save to turn off the screen when you're not using it. The frequency. And then you can format your SD card, default settings, and the version of the software. So that there is the device itself. let's jump on in. We'll show you some of the videos that we've got here. I'll show you a video that I took from my drone that I kind of hinted at earlier, show it crashing a couple of times into my yard. I'll show you a video of us driving down the road with a little bit of rain on the windshield, and show you some things there, and then I will also show you the bathtub shot. So as you guys can see, the Elephone Action Pro camera is a very awesome camera. Again, it does have a few downsides to it. The biggest downside was the fact that the directions, the documentation around it wasn't very intuitive. It didn't have a lot of the information as far as some of the higher functions of the device. Had a lot of the lower functions, enough to get you started, but in order to really get into it and to figure out how to use the device, you had to do a lot more digging and playing around with the device itself in order to use it to its full potential. Now, that being said, that's awesome in and of itself. I'm one of those guys, I like to tinker, so it was a good opportunity for me to be able to figure it out. However, there are times where you hit that roadblock, it does get a little bit frustrating. The menu items, the names of them don't really make sense. So if I had to pick the one thing that would keep me from recommending the camera, that would be the only thing I can possibly think of that would keep me away from it. Other than the documentation, I would give this a absolute 2 thumbs up. I believe this is the best action camera out there. Now, I am kind of biased. It is the first action camera I've ever tried. However, I have seen other reviews on other action cameras, and this one, compared to what I've seen in the other videos and some of the other write-ups, I do believe that this is comparable, if not better, in almost every situation. So I definitely recommend this. I will have links below in the description. If this video has been helpful to you, please share it with your friends. Give us a thumbs up. Like us on Twitter and Facebook. Not Facebook. I'm not on Facebook yet, but we'll get there. But like us on Twitter and YouTube. And as always, thank you for watching and have an awesome day.